it.
Did you change the stream name?
No, I didn't specifically. I know what he wrote, but if I don't upload the previous VOD because it was on New Game Plus, I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we're starting this from the beginning again, so we might as well start here. So let's do the introduction again. Hello, everybody. I'm David Black. I am the lead designer on Lords of Nether, which is an upcoming dungeon management game. Currently in development. Currently in development. I am joined by Benita today, that is our animator. Once again, say hi, Benita.
Hi, it's me, the friendly voice from the off, who doesn't actually say all that much.
So, we are going to be playing Dungeon Keeper today, which is the original inspiration, obviously, for Lords of Nether. We are kind of doing this, doing a little bit of a secondary go at it, because originally we started with New Game Plus, and it didn't quite go super well. Not gonna elaborate on why too much, but we're going to actually do the original Dungeon Keeper campaign. We can actually let this play out because we are starting the thing from the beginning. Rexy did demand a lot of attention, though. I love this cinematic so much. Yeah, like even if you were to just use AI, right, to just clean this up, it would still be nice. But I don't know, there is a certain charm to the look of it, the low fidelity. No. No, I haven't seen the version of the intro. Sorry, that's not. That core that is used here is something that Peter Molyneux is fond of using. That's also something that was in Black and White. Oh god, I love that game. Horny is Mace Windu. Not sure what that refers to. Alright, so as I was saying, we're playing Dungeon Keeper as a way to kind of like review where our inspiration comes from. So we're going to be playing the original campaign, as apparently I did have a skill issue on New Game Plus with the certain choices that were made in the design. So we are going to begin, well, at the beginning.
Ever smile. Set in the realm of joy, the people of Eversmile are plagued only by aching facial muscles, and not anthrax as we had hoped. Eversmile is a disgusting land of good humor and polite frivolity.
Yeah, let's put an end to that. Yeah, go for it. Okay, alright, so we'll do this. This should be this is a message, right? Click to delete it. I kind of missed those. Okay, alright. I forgot I actually have tools. I like it when things are this quaint. Wait, actually, I don't need this. Well, I could. Can't even make imps. This is some. Oh yeah, because that is unlocked in the original campaign is way cozier. Let's see, it tells you stuff. Yeah, we can put it here. Yeah, I miss the flavor text and the stuff. Just like part of going through. Like I'm one of those weirdos that actually kind of likes the beginning of games where it feels like you're learning stuff, and as long as the tutorial isn't like too invasive, I kind of enjoy it. Even that part. Oh, that picked it up a little slower, but still seems to be fine. Okay, let's get us. Yeah, that's the objective here.
Entrance has been claimed.
For some reason, this already feels much more relaxed. So, okay, let's do this properly. Your first minion has arrived. It's a giant fly. It can spit corrosive vomit at your enemies, and its wings grant the hideous insect the speed to intercept the most nimble trespassers. You know, I don't think it spits corrosive vomit. Maybe at close range it's supposed to be doing that, but it doesn't have a ranged attack to save its life, quite literally. And the trespassers might be nimble, but anything other than another fly or an imp is enough to body a fly. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but there's like we were talking about that. You guys were also talking about that on Keeper Clan, that it would be good to actually give the fly like a very high levels a ranged attack in order to at least make them somewhat viable minions late game, because there's like, aside from the scouting, no real reason for them to be used. Ah, crap, I didn't read the beetle one. Too bad. I actually really like the messages. They're one of my favorite things. In Dungeon Keeper 2, they got turned into like voiced stuff by Richard Ridings, and I really enjoyed that because it gave a little bit of personality to all of the creatures. Like, you kind of got to learn a little bit about them and get like the cinematic view in Dungeon Keeper 2, which we are going to go through Dungeon Keeper 2 once Dungeon Keeper 1 is done. Give the spider's web freeze. No, I wouldn't give it that. That would become too much. Like, if you just gave him the tracking projectile that the demon spawn has, and that would be perfectly fine. Yes, the fortification. Okay. Intruders approach. They seek gaps in your fortifications in order to gain entry into your dungeon. A white trail on the map indicates their progress. Click the icon at the top of the control panel to see a bigger map, or just press M, like a non-idiot. Okay, so that's how we see where the heroes are. We have absolutely no need. Why not have a handful of creatures ready to drop on top of intruders? Because that is a great game mechanic that doesn't possibly go bad in any way, shape, or form ever. Especially when enemy keepers are involved. That never happens. Alright. Oh, we got a lot of flies. 'Oof, that's unfortunate. 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 'Oof, that's un
have tunneled into a new area. Your creatures are under attack.
Let's see.
Your minions are winning a battle.
Barely. Alright, flies. I only need one of you. More beetles scuttling. I like them. They're useless after these first couple of levels. But they're cute. Adorable. It's like I still don't know how this is like.
Your creatures are under attack.
Well, at least it knows to flee, sort of. That's actually good. I don't know if that's the original functionality of it. To be fair, if the AI was smart enough to do a hit and run attacks, their speed could make them kind of decent. Yeah, that's the point. But the problem is the way this game is designed, that creatures can just be dropped in massive numbers, and there's literally no impact from that. Like Dungeon Keeper tried to solve that by Dungeon Keeper 2 tried to solve that by introducing the stun, because just dropping them on top of stuff is just entirely unpunished. And alright, do whatever you want. When you can just drop creatures like that, the moment what the AI does is the moment like an imp is engaged in a fight with anything, it will drop its entire army on top of it. It's just not like there are multiple factors that contribute to well, flies for one not being very useful, but to the general lack of strategy necessary, at least on the combat layer. Poison stinger type ability at higher level to synergize with that. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what that would entail in this. I mean, I think we're still gonna go into the same problems with.
War and anthrax have taken to this land like fleas to a rat. The region is, thanks to your unstinting efforts, now a major eyesore.
Good. Okay.
Coziton, a hideous sham of a town, in which the prosperous citizens have no gripes or moans. Sadly, even the children are happy and secure. This is because they aren't punished for non-existent crimes.
Let's invent some. Yeah, that could work if they are literally just doing hit and run tactics. Again, I feel like there's a certain if I do this, it's still gross.
You must build a treasure room to store gold.
Okay, if I do that. Okay, a few more imps will do this. What is it telling me now? Possess creatures by choosing the possess spell from the research panel on left control. Adam, if you're here still, were there settings to adjust the mouse speed in possession? Because it is abysmal right now. When imps have no other orders, they run around reinforcing your dungeon. Fortified walls keep out intruders. Rooms with reinforced walls make creatures feel more at home and heroes more terrified. I'm not sure where the more terrified stuff comes in, and if that is actually accurate. I'm curious to know though. But
Need a bigger treasure room.
it does increase efficiency as far as I know of a room
Have enough gold.
to have it surrounded. Oh, let's see. I think there's a setting for the cursor sensitivity in general, but not specifically in possession. Because this is sensitive enough for me, but if I go in possession, it's like 25% of this. It's really bad. It makes possession barely viable at all. I'll check the settings later. Let's see. That's enough imps for this particular map. Well, maybe not. Actually. Okay. There we are. You guys have more important business to do. Oops. Good thing they're not lightning fast. Oh, was that imp taking a break? Yeah, he was taking a break. They smoke a blunt, right? Like, it's just they just
An entrance
go.
has been claimed.
Okay, there we go. The plan proceeds smoothly, Keeper. Allow your imps time to fortify the walls of your dungeon. This increases the efficiency of room and repels would-be invaders. New creature beetle. The training room attracts ever more ferocious creatures, such as a demon spawn. Build it, and they will come. And there's a demon spawn. The trained creatures, drop them in the training room. The number that occasionally appears above the creature's head indicates how much gold it has cost for that creature to train. Right, of course. No explanation for the demon spawn. I thought there would be. No, apparently not. You can train creatures more rapidly by slapping them as they work out in the training room. Yes, a good slap when I'm working out usually motivates me as well. It can be locked in position? Might be. Okay, beetles for now are still a viable combat alternative. Right, so since this is going to be the first VOD that goes up, I'm going to commentate on the whole wall thing. You know, so what Dungeon Keeper 1 does, which is not what Dungeon Keeper 2 does, and I will say that Dungeon Keeper 2 actually does a few things better in terms of like just general game design, and I might catch flack for that. Now, I think Dungeon Keeper 1 is king of atmosphere. Absolutely, like above the two games, from the two games, this one definitely stands out as the one that like feels darker and grittier, and I don't know, just hits the mark on the mood perfectly. But I will say that Dungeon Keeper 2 does a few quality of life things that just kind of make things a bit more balanced in certain ways. Boo is Burn the Heretic, yes. Next he'll be saying he liked Dungeon Keeper Mobile. No, I won't be. I think Dungeon Keeper Mobile can burn in hell. Does that track that is that a good or a bad thing? I can't. This is too much science for me. We don't speak of the yes, we do not. Oh god, I spoke of the forbidden one. Hey, you know what? We can make something kind of pretty. which I'm sure Mark will have thoughts about. We're going to... Right, so what I was saying, what Dungeon Keeper 2, well, Dungeon Keeper 1, first, let's start with that, does, is it makes walls absolutely impenetrable outside of a spell that you can learn very, very late in the game. Which I guess in multiplayer maps doesn't matter, but again, these games don't really necessarily live by their multiplayer. So that makes it virtually impossible for anything, especially heroes. Like, heroes themselves will never be a threat if you manage to wall yourself in and you don't need to get out. And it results in this whole behavior where they will just dig around your dungeon and honeycomb the hell out of the map. And since Dungeon Keeper does not really allow you a whole lot of terrain manipulation, yeah, I mean, it really depends on what exactly you want out of the game, of whether you see that as a problem or not. And I'm the sort of player who really likes to actually build up a dungeon and kind of look after his creatures and care for them and have combat like happen intermittently and stuff that I need to resolve, and just the greater challenge of the thing can be taken incrementally. But the dungeon building aspect is something that I really, really love. As you can see, like, I'll happily make like stupid little rooms like this that have no function. But yeah, this sort of behavior, just, you know, once this is created, if you want to expand your dungeon around what you've already created, you have to dig into their area, and then you open yourself up to whatever they've done outside of that. And it's just a whole thing. And this is like the earliest iteration of this type of game, so, you know, stuff like that can be excused. First of all, because like they didn't exactly know what the game wanted to be for the longest time in development, and it only really materialized closer to the end of it. It was a very experimental project in that sense. I think we can undo this from here. This is not where the heroes began in New Game Plus. They started here. Your
creatures are attacking the enemy. Your minions are winning a battle.
Are we allowed? No, we're not allowed that yet. Yeah. That's a dwarf. An awfully fast dwarf. Ah, yes. I have also designed our dwarf. Lords of Nether's dwarf, which, for those of you that don't know it, will be officially announced, revealed on the socials next week. And I'm very happy with him because he is a perfect little ball of lard. Let me catch up with the chat. We don't speak against people. Burning in hell would be good for Dungeon Keeper, right? If it was the cool kind of hell and not the kind of hell that is full of rap. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. DK can drown in holy water. Yes, Pudge. Yes, Pudge indeed. Your favorite Pudge. Okay. And the funny thing is, because, you know, obviously we're inspired by Dungeon Keeper, and there's a lot of things that I kind of try to keep a certain sense of homage with when I design stuff. The dwarf, the tunneler dwarf, has some level of influence in the inspiration of our dwarf. Specifically, the style of the beard kind of, like, I developed it a little further, but kind of inspired like the sort of 2 bushels that our minor dwarf has. And also the color of the beard, I specifically chose to be blonde as an homage to the tunneler dwarves. But I also created like in-world like lore reasons as to why that actually exists in the world of Lords of Nether. Which, you know, while we're here and we're training and we're waiting for the heroes to do something. Oh, no, they're doing stuff. They're trying. They're not very good at it, but they're trying. I'm just gonna dig a whole atrium out of this. Not quite. That's better. So in Lords of Nether, or rather Antioch, as the world where things take place is called, dwarves essentially change their hair color as they age. That is to say, the color of their hair naturally changes as they age. So they all start out blonde until the equivalent of like their late 20s, early 30s. And in dwarven society, it's very common to essentially do service in the mining guilds as part to earn your place in their society. So a lot of young dwarves, like the majority of miners, are actually very young dwarves who are out to earn their place in dwarven society, and therefore most of the dwarven miners that you will meet have blonde beards. Yeah, the yellow beards, essentially. That's the term that is used in world.
Your minions are winning a battle. Your minions are winning a battle. Beware, the Lord of the Land approaches.
Oh, right. This was a thing here that was not in this level. Right, I remember now. Okay. See, I can appreciate the fact that in New Game Plus these early levels are a little more intense.
Your creatures are under attack.
But, you know, it kind of serves a purpose. Like, what I would have agreed with is to just kind of make the heroes more dangerous. Because this guy should have been at least level 2 by now. I would have gone with level 3 maybe, or 4, and he shouldn't have spawned on his own. Because that's boring. But to the point of what happened in that level, unacceptable. Anyway, moving on.
Dark Anna. The surviving citizens have more on their plates than a demon spawn with 3 dead adventurers to munch. Not that many citizens have survived as such.
Ah, more for the demon spawn to munch. Okay.
Water Dream Wall. A region of pointless frolicking and endless pleasure. No one here understands the true meaning of suffering and random shocking violence meted out arbitrarily.
Why not? And can we remedy that? Build dungeon, treasure room, a lair, hatchery, and training. Make sure that they are all big enough. Cramped conditions do nothing for our needy creatures. Alright. Let's say that'll work. And more imps.
You do not have enough gold.
Another thing that Dungeon Keeper 2 does is add the mana as a separate resource, which is used for imps and spells. There's like a certain level of upkeep that you need to have. I don't know if it was used for the traps upkeep the way War for the Overworld does it, which I do think is clever with War for the Overworld, but I'm not sure if they had that idea originally or if it was already done in Dungeon Keeper 2, and somebody in the chat can let me know about that one. Somebody has a name. Wasn't listening to properly. Well, it wasn't necessarily directed towards you, but if you know, whether War for the Overworld were the first ones to put the trap upkeep onto the mana. Because I'm not sure whether Dungeon Keeper 2 had traps being kept up with mana or not. Alright, we have a treasury. A rare thing for me to do. Since I usually prefer my space early on. And usually I tend not to make treasuries because, well, early on I don't make treasuries because the imps are incentivized to just, well, like, if you don't have enough room for gold, they'll just dig through gold quickly, which makes the entire process much faster. And voila. Well, you guys are fast. Maybe hold on a moment. Yeah. I ruined his wonderful work over there. DK2 didn't have mana lock costs for traps, as far as I know. Warfield was the first to do it. No, wait, I'm wrong. From the DK2 it says they require mana to upkeep working. If there's not enough mana, they cannot function. But I think it was more like they drained used mana each time they fired rather than locking a set amount. Yeah. I'm not sure which option I prefer, to be perfectly honest.
An entrance has been claimed.
Because if you have no mana, that actually makes them. It isn't as punishing as War for the Overworld system, because War for the Overworld very quickly becomes tower defense with all the traps system. And personally, in Lords of Nether, I'd rather just kind of circumvent the entire thing and make the trap system more of a thing. Because in Dungeon Keeper, in general, it seems a little afterthoughty. There's like, you build the traps and they're there, and after a certain number of uses in Dungeon Keeper 1, they become inert and they have to be built again by the manufacturers. They can also be used to have like infinite gold in later levels. So I don't know if it is exactly an exploit or it is Okay. That's a fine collection of parchments and tomes you've assembled. Most creatures can engage in research, but warlocks make the best and keenest researchers. Stupid trolls have trouble holding books. Excuse me, I was doing the thing. Oh well. Scent of arcane knowledge has lured a greedy warlock into your dungeon. Don't forget to train your warlocks occasionally. All the time, you mean. Their spellcasting abilities make them fine long-range fighters. They should as well do. I am actually a little... It's like, warlocks have to be your early ranged units. And they get pretty alright with training, but I feel like in certain ways later on in the game they may get a little underwhelming. Time poke. Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna go on a little bit longer considering we started the thing. I'm gonna maybe try and finish as many of these levels as I can before reaching the point that we were at before. But not necessarily. I want to just do a couple more and then we can close it off. Because the VOD will not be very long now since it's a new one.
It is payday.
Alright. Everyone has to get the whole thing. Yeah, 36 minutes so far. It's not bad. Like, we can at least reach, like, maybe an hour or something, just for the first VOD not to be super short. I love this stuff. Like, this is for me where Dungeon Keeper shines.
There is nothing left to research.
And just kind of like watching your creatures do their stuff. Have their little lives and everything, and this is because if you really wanted an RTS, there's plenty of RTS and easier ways to make an RTS, and the simulation aspect of this is for me the more interesting thing. Already your research bears fruit. The speed creature spell has been perfected. Cast it on a creature and observe the dramatic increase in its speed. And the effect wears off after a while. So, like, all this really is I don't know why these warlocks are making such a big fuss about it, because all this spell really is it you just distribute meth to your creatures. So I don't know if they think they're big scientists or something, but well, we can have a fly trained up. Why not? Yes, it would be. We were thinking the exact same thing. Brian, we need to cook. Yeah. Who the hell is Brian anyway? See, that's like where like the alchemy room in War for the Overworld would have come in, cause you know that's you just cook a bunch of meth, and that's how you get your haste potions. What drug would be like strengthening a creature? Beetles are doing their thing. Aha! Uh-oh. We have not made the efforts. No? You are not. This is the part that I love. Panicking about these guys getting too close. They're coming. Ah, they're too slow. Let me expedite that process a little.
You need a bigger treasure room.
I do indeed. But do I really? Yippee! They're a bunch of yuppies. Yeah, not likely, you wankers. Although at this point, we can just initiate and choose violence. Ah, what happened here? Yeah, oh well, best laid plans. Do you see the problem? So they're still level 1, and this is where I would have appreciated the buff. Did they actually manage to... Oh no, there's a... Oh, wow, how did that happen? They rushed way past everything.
Your minions are winning a battle. Your minions are winning a battle.
They're doing the wrong side. Yeah. Alright. Cozy dungeon. I like when I'm allowed to actually build and make things nice and have a feeling for what I'm actually making. I'm making it my own instead of what the game asks me necessarily or forces me to do. Like, if Dungeon Keeper would have its way, every room would just be a 5x5 square or bigger, but perfect square, and I don't really like that. And things like this are very useless for anything other than, you know, it looks nice, and I like that. Yeah, I gotta say, original campaign feels a lot more chill and cozy. And as the future founder, or co-founder rather, of Cozy Soft, that is important to me. That is a company value that we hold dear here at Cozy Soft. Too bad Chris isn't here, he would have enjoyed that.
Your creatures are under attack.
Oh, they is.
Creatures are falling in battle.
And they is. They is falling in battle.
Your creatures are falling in battle. Your minions are winning a battle. Your minions are winning a battle. Your creatures are falling in battle. It is payday. Your creatures are under attack. Minions are winning.
Very good. Those guys are dead. Everybody's dead. Dead, dead, they're all dead. Funny thing that the AI does is when the heroes spawn, they just kind of like try and dig. It's just so, like, you'll see here, they actually dug out this that was supposed to be actually walls of their own fortification. So the game won't go like, oh, I can actually walk through this area because it's already dug out. No, it's just I'm gonna dig straight into like towards your dungeon if I can. That's it.
Beware, the Lord of the Land approaches.
He does. I mean, you don't have to. You know.
Your creatures are falling in battle.
I don't. I only ask that you die. I do not ask that you tolerate me. I ask that you die.
Your minions are winning a battle.
There we go.
Conquer this realm.
We meet with success yet again, Keeper. All those corpses will keep your hatchery's topsoil fertile. They also serve as warnings to other foolhardy adventurers, of course. Is that it in playing football with a decapitated head? Stay alert, Keeper. Alrighty.
With his dread.
With his
This
dread, with her
place
dread.
now has a proper name because of what you did here. There is a healthy disrespect for life, and you'll be amused to hear that cannibalism has gained a strong foothold amongst the ragged inhabitants.
Yes, very amusing. I am already amused. Bemused, even.
Flower hat. Polite bartering has led to extreme compassion and a surfeit of contentment in this area. Not even a thick-skinned troll could survive the understanding and help these scummy people can provide.
Speaking of trolls, hint hint, I think this one is probably gonna be the last for today. But first, let's beat it. Shouldn't be particularly... Let's see. What we want to begin with. Okay. Alright, that was the problem with this particular mess. It wants...
Must build a treasure room to store gold.
this out of me. Let's see if this, because it does mess me up with the layout here. This is not the place we get bile demons, so this is not a problem for it to be like this, but instead yeah, I hate this. I hate being forced into building stuff just because the goal was there. Pick a spot. It's very long.
You must build a treasure room to store gold.
Okay, that will do it.
You do not have enough gold.
Oops.
You do not have enough gold. Your gold reserves are running low. You do not have enough gold.
Gotta be a nice even number. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You have tunneled into a new area.
All right.
An entrance has been claimed.
Mm-hmm.
Your creatures are under attack.
Oh, oddly. See, this is the point where just because it's a tutorial level, it doesn't mean that these guys should be level 1. So, like, the thing that Mark attempted to do here by giving them, like, a treasury, not a treasury, a training room, that I appreciate. Except I'm not entirely sure how exactly it worked, because what New Game Plus did is it gave them this treasure again, this training room, but enemies like heroes would just level up periodically even if they weren't actually there training. So like I guess just having the training room leveled them up. A little unintuitive, like you wouldn't know. You got into the situation where the longer you take, the higher level these guys become, but that isn't really communicated to you in any way, shape, or form. Especially here in these things, it's not told to you that there's a training room here, and that will make them that even that they will get harder, that they will get a higher level, let alone why. And it doesn't function the way a training room normally does, so it's a little unintuitive. I would have gone with just making them higher level, well, at least for this particular game. Yeah, we'll do with the fly. That looks weird.
Your creatures are under attack.
I think at this point we're just gonna leave the beetles be. Aha. And there we are.
Your creatures are under attack.
And this functionality being another addition of Keeper effects, that is the default way the Dungeon Keeper to actually marks terrain for excavation, which is, it's really nice to have it here. A troll has joined you. Skilled in the craft of manufacturing, trolls are best employed doing dark deeds in your workshop. They don't complain about the hours because their labors keep them away from combat. Right. Fair. Okay. Sorry about that. Right, and here we go.
Your creatures are under attack.
Flies and these guys. Everyone goes here.
You need a bigger treasure room.
Slap, slap. Oops. That's better. Bye, Benita. Thank you for being here. I'll finish up the stream after this mission. It won't take very long. And that'll be the end for today. And I'll have a little conversation with Mark. Although I'm not even sure if he's the one responsible for that particular mission, because there's multiple contributors on it. Hey, Paplock. This is kind of the second stream that we're doing today, because we were playing on New Game Plus, and we reached the point where just the particular choices in the way New Game Plus altered that mission with the way that the game worked made things really unfun. So we decided to just restart the stream in the entire series with the actual original campaign of Dungeon Keeper, which, to be honest, was, you know, my original choice, like what I wanted to do, but then I was convinced that things would be a bit more balanced, as in these guys, for example, wouldn't be level 1, which I really would have liked for them to be a little more threatening. And that's the original thing that got me going for New Game Plus, but I wasn't aware of some of the other choices that were made, and I think it's more important to stream a fun campaign than to stream the most difficult version of the campaign that Dungeon Keeper could have in the end. Because I can sit and break my head against the level over and over, but I don't think that makes for fun content here. Not for the intention anyway. So yeah, this is gonna be the last mission for today that we're going to be doing, and after that we're gonna wrap it up. But happy to have you. So I'm kind of taking my time and making the dungeon a bit nicer before we move on and training up these guys, which, yeah, now I can actually let them Oh yeah, not everyone here has been assigned.
A new room has been researched.
Selfishly said, I'm glad I won't have to stay too late into the night. 9:30. Yeah, it's almost 10:30 here, so I completely agree with that. The clever research has given your imps the engineering skills to build bridges. Jeff will need... Which is Jeff? Jeff Bridges. My head is somewhere else. You will need bridges. You will need Jeff Bridges to cross some of the more hazardous underworld terrain. He will guide you. Okay. Yeah, I would have finished the stream half an hour ago because we have kind of been going for 3 hours, but yeah, like I said, we started over and I didn't want to just have like 30 minutes for the first VOD, because this is the first VOD I'm going to actually put up on the channel. So I'm actually kind of glad I delayed it. It wasn't intentional, but okay. You have researched the Call to Arms spell. The first time you cast it, your creatures gather around a banner created by the spell. Cast it again in a target area. Call to Arms only costs gold when it's targeted beyond your territory. See, this is fun because I get to read all of this stuff as well and have like comments on it, and the game is generally better paced for me to be able to talk about stuff. Because in New Game Plus, like any time that I spend talking about stuff is time that things get terrible throughout. Your researchers have discovered the heal creature spell that allows to replenish the health of your creatures and keep them from dying a while longer. Yeah, again, this is like a single target spell that I have to do in the middle of combat, unless you have like infinite resources. The whole thing. Okay, well, now that we have the bridge, I don't see why we cannot already begin a offensive. That is so offensive.
A door has been manufactured.
Is anyone else here level 1? It shouldn't be. Are they? These two guys slow. No, don't get blinked at. I really enjoyed DK and would love to play some more, but I feel fan-made levels are too difficult and technical. Yeah, that's basically what we ran into with the New Game Plus campaign. It's that it really became much more about like hardcore players of Dungeon Keeper who are just kind of bored with the original campaign. And I would have really, like I said, preferred if it was... Ooh, game is gonna shout over me now. I would have much preferred if it was a general balance update that just made, like, for example, the heroes more threatening further up in the campaign. Like, this is level 1, like, why are they level 1? They should have been, like, 3 or 4. And again, that's what I was told that it would do, but it wasn't. It changed quite a few things.
Your minions are winning a battle. Your creatures are under attack. Your minions are winning a battle.
Ah, he died.
Your creatures are falling in battle. Your creatures are attacking the enemy. Your
I
minions
think
are winning a battle.
right now I probably want to... Okay, stop that. I think right now I want to heal my minions because they have suffered enough.
Your creatures are under attack. Your creatures are falling in battle.
Who is... Oh, please. Get shreked.
Your minions are winning a battle.
Literally, because they're green. They're not ogres, but... Maybe they have layers still. Oh, the fly died, what a surprise. So, like, where we got stuck was, I believe, level 7. where there's supposed to be a battle raging on between, and we'll get to that in the next stream. But there's supposed to be a battle raging between heroes and another keeper, and the problem was that the heroes, like, you are stranded on an island of lava. You cannot really make it out of that early before you research the trap, but the enemy keeper starts with absolutely everything researched, including a prison. And the enemy keeper is on the side of where the heroes are, except, like, there's just a bunch of heroes that are level 1 or 2 patrolling that, and that's like the 7th level. Let me see. At this point, I feel like despite none of them being 100% good at it, DK spiritual successors scratch the more content itch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say. We'll see exactly how Lords of Nether handles things. I'm not gonna say like anything arrogantly, but it is my intention to really make things more impactful, more just in terms of the content, but rather. It's not. But rather, it is its own game. It is a thing within the genre, but it's not going to be Dungeon Keeper. It's going to have holdovers from Dungeon Keeper, going to have homages to Dungeon Keeper, but we are changing a lot of things because I also don't think that Dungeon Keeper's design is necessarily complex enough nowadays. Like, you can make it challenging. This doesn't mean you can't make it challenging, as we saw with New Game Plus and everything. But I feel like there's more that you can do with the genre nowadays than just Dungeon Keeper graphically upgraded. Oh, nice to see the Chugri. We're not doing New Game Plus anymore because it doesn't make for fun streaming content. I went over this before, but we reached some areas that just were kind of frustrating and didn't seem like it was particularly fun for anybody. I failed the mission like a million times. Yeah, let's say it's a skill issue. Sure, Nether. Yeah, you can keep trying to trigger me with that. Let's say it's a skill issue. Yes, I got stumped time and time again, and frankly, I didn't really want to deal with it. Because there were certain things that were not communicated well at all, that were changed about the map, and certain things that just worked into the enemy keeper's hands, and you were just in a bad position from the start. Like, you have to research everything, but the enemy keeper starts with, like, prisons and the like, so he can immediately start grabbing all of the adventurers and making skeletons out of them very early on, and it's just a snowballing effect. And I just can't beat him. It's just, I don't know what I have to do, but whatever I have to do, it just doesn't seem fun. Okay, well, anyway, let me read that. You gave off a good vibe, and what you say makes good sense. You've managed to score some long high points in mine ain't gonna lie. Well, thank you. I would rather show what we're doing more. And there is going to be a bigger dev stream coming in soon, but we have to get a few things wrapped up. There has been a slight pause in certain aspects that we are now getting over, and very soon we're going to be able to do that dev stream. We also have to do some more updates alongside those video updates that you've already seen the first of. Thank you, there we go. I was about to... Okay. Now, as long as there is not a boulder trap anywhere arbitrarily placed in this tutorial level dungeon, we should be fine. It's another addition to make New Game Plus more sadistic. If anybody from Keeper Clan is watching. Yeah, this was a much bigger... This was a much bigger wave of heroes in New Game Plus, and they were more skilled again, something that I do appreciate. Also, this was closed off
Your minions are winning a
in
battle.
New Game Plus for no reason whatsoever.
Winning a battle.
Or maybe the reason was that it has a transfer creature in there, maybe.
Creatures are falling in battle.
They are? Oh yeah, because the warlocks are probably spamming fireballs. Okay, let's not do that. Friendly fire is a
Creatures
thing.
are falling in battle.
Wait, that's not from that?
You have turned into a new area.
What? Oh, they're hitting each other. Yeah, I can't believe that's a thing.
Your creatures are falling in battle.
Ouch.
You have conquered this realm.
Alright, let's see what's up in here. Massive bags of gold. Yeah, I wonder if there's an upper limit to how big these things can be. I would like to just see one massive screen obscuring... Oh, sorry, pot of gold. There's been a whole
Creatures
discussion.
have joined your dungeon. Some
Yes.
of your minions are unable to reach their lairs.
Is it a transfer? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. New Game Plus, I knew it. You did it. You did the thing. You boo, boo. New Game Plus. Any edge that I can
Creatures
have
discovered a mysterious magic
is
box.
not allowed. It is verboten.
A door has been manufactured. Your workshop is not big enough.
Imagine slapping a spider wrong and its abdomen bursts open in a single hit. Oof. Well. Ugh. Ugh. Not a pleasant thought. The mysterious magic box. If we had a fly, it could explore. But we don't. And alas, we never will. There we go, level 4.
It is payday.
What if it's dangerous to... And now I can speed monster as much as I like. Oops. Basic. And then little ones crawl out of it. Oh god. Do you normally limit yourself in getting a transfer creature? Do you go all in and always try to transfer a beefy juicy level 10 whatever best is available? Well, I'm not gonna do it here. In my own playthroughs I probably would. Like I would probably grab a warlock at level 10 here. Right now I'm thinking I'm just gonna get one of them to level 5 and transfer him. I don't want to use, and I'm not going to use the frame skip, the speed, the time controls. So I will limit myself in that regard. Alright. Who's gonna be level 10? Oh, there with 5. Okay, alright. I think that's gonna be Steel Hero. Increase level. Okay.
You have bewitched a hero.
I have. If he could turn into a knight, that'd be good, but I think it's too early for that.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
So, alright.
Select a creature to take with you to the next realm.
Let's see, where is the level 6? Warlock level 5, Warlock level 6.
So
Come on.
be it.
There he is. Alright. If spawn can't be turned into dragons, I'd get thieves. I guess thieves. Yeah, probably not. It's just a guess. Well, mistress isn't available here.
Firemore. There's a burning mess where once a pretty village stood. Truly, you've achieved a significant improvement in the area. Even the poisonous smoke smells sweet.
Hmm. I don't know why you would smell that, but okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be finishing things up here, Beer, so thank you for coming. And that's gonna be it.
Lush meadow on down. The bloody axes of war and famine have so far bypassed this quiet backwater, leaving the inhabitants totally unaware of the purpose of real agony and loss. Unbearably, most die of old age.
Yeah, so that is going to indeed be it for today. So we've ostensibly restarted the series here. So thank you everyone who came. Sorry to to everyone who had to endure the New Game Plus stuff earlier. We won't be dealing with that anymore unless there's a specific demand for me to just break my head against stuff. No problem, no problem. I'm happy to do so. I do have dinner waiting for me for a while now, but it was fun. Again, the New Game Plus stuff is debatable, but I'm glad that we could do this. And the original campaign is really something I enjoy a lot more because the pacing is more conducive to the sort of thing that I like from these games, in terms of you get a bit more time to kind of enjoy how everything in your dungeon functions and moves along, instead of just stressing against the challenge constantly. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, and thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you again next episode. Bye bye.